Hello, we are going to draw a football player today. A football player anatomically is exactly like a Roman soldier and a gladiator. The head is shaped like an oval. The neck is fairly wide. Shoulders come out in a triangle shape to the waist. From the waist to the hip is a square. We have what I call a large Tootsie Roll shape here. We have a knee, which would be a circle, and then a smaller Tootsie Roll shape beneath that. Triangle for a foot sideways and a triangle for a foot forwards. The arm would come down from the shoulder, again in a Tootsie Roll shape, and the elbow is at the waist, thinner from there down. And we're going to give him a C-shaped hand because he's holding a football. And as you know, they kind of grip it like this. And then we have an arm on this side. Now, if you want to put the helmet on him, you can. I'm not real great at drawing helmets. I never had to wear one except for a bicycle or a motorcycle, and that's a whole different kind of helmet. So I'm going to put his helmet in his hand like this, like he's just taking it off after the game. Just making a light circle. Notice how lightly I drew there because you're going to define it. Eyes are in the middle of the head. Between the eyes and the chin is the nose. Between the nose and the chin is the mouth. Right now, even though it isn't well drawn, you can tell it's a human being. And that's what we're working on, is proportion in how humans look. I'm going to round that neck a little bit. As you know, football players wear shoulder pads because you can dislocate your shoulder real quick if you get hit wrong. So it's going to go up a little bit and around, and up and a little bit and around on the other side. Then I would say they wear capri pants, but I doubt that they call them that. And then they have pads on their knees. So if, just like our soldier did, they have pads. They had pads too, but they were metal. And this pad will tie in the back behind the knee, which is very much how the Roman soldiers looked. Okay, this leg is facing us, so this knee has protection, but we can't see how it's strapped in the back. It swells out just below the knee to show this very well-developed muscle. We have the bone down here for the ankle, and then we have the shoe. And this toe comes up. I can color that in so you can see it a little better. And I gather now they have a strap that goes across the top. Now, I don't know if that's the way the football players are at our school or not, but now, as far as a number, V-shaped neck, by the way, you can put any number on it you want. Me, I'm going to make mine number 78, because that's my inspiration over here is number 78. And it's very similar to that block O we put on the front of the stadium. So I have a block 8. And it wouldn't sit perfectly on him because the body changes the shape of the number, so it's not going to be that hard. Now, if you want to make it an OSU player, fine. If you want to make it a Michigan player, fine. Just so you have a player. Could be a Penn State player like this last weekend, if you want. Okay, so you see that, and now we're going to put his arms in. They tend to have large arms, and then it swells out just below the elbow right here. And then we have the hand, which again is very much like a C, but he's holding his helmet. So I'm going to do the arm on the other side. Like our gladiator, I believe the term is cut. He has a very pronounced muscle there. And on this side, he has his thumb, and then his fingers are around his football. And you can have a little bit of it showing on the other side. Let's go back up to the face. I don't care what hairdo you give him. I'm going to move his chin down a little bit. He's going to look at us like he's probably tired. The game's over with. Okay, so remember, eyes are shaped like footballs with a little bit of air let out. Nose is a parenthesis with 2 upside-down bowls. That's pretty tiny, but you can see it. The philtrum comes from the nostrils. The philtrum is like a little tract that shapes the upper lip. Ears line up with the corner of the eye, and they look like somebody made a question mark and then bent it inward. So it flares out and then it goes in again, like somebody smashed it in. And I'm going to give my guy lots of fluffy hair. So he has lots of fluffy hair. Maybe even darken it a little bit. And he's tired. He's finished his game. All right. Helmet. I have an image of a helmet to help me here. It has those bars on the front that protect the face, but they're also good for holding the helmet. And if you want him to have Buckeye leaves or something on the front, you can. If you're a football player, you probably know more about helmets than I do. I either have something done or... Anyway, this is our helmet, and it has bars on it, and we are going to color the inside of it. So if you decide you want to make it a OSU player and you want to put Buckeyes on it, then you can do it any way you want. But I'm shading it in so you know where the inside of the helmet is. And when Chick Harley played for Ohio State at Ohio Field, heck, they had leather helmets, so I wouldn't make this straight, by the way. He's, it's going to be wrinkled a little bit after he plays, probably just after he puts it on. So we're going down to the shoe here. And Chick Harley, with that leather helmet, won a tremendous amount of games, so we don't necessarily have to have the helmets we have now, but they were developed because of the impact that people took in football. Now, these are cleats that are on the bottom of the shoe to let them grip the grass, which can, when it's wet, which happens here in Ohio, can be very slick. I'm going to make that leg a little more pronounced. And there he is. Now, if he's an Ohio State player, this part is red. You don't have to put the numbers on the shoulders unless you want to. You can if you want to. I mean, they're not that big a deal. And we wouldn't be able to read them terribly well because they're sort of going around the shoulder, but you can put them on there like that. And there is stitching there at the collar. So, as you know, this would be brown. This could be pretty much white. If it's after the game, I don't think it's going to be real clean or anything. But there you go. There's your football player. I will do this again in class, but if you are absent or suspended, you are still responsible for doing the football player. Have a good day.